Right, just arrived at Gorleston Beach for today's fishing. It's been absolutely ages since I've been fishing, so I needed to get down there, get a little bit done. So I'm in Gorleston. For those who haven't been here before, got a nice little car parking area up the top here. I believe the car park is open from 8 in the morning till 11 at night. Totally free car park, free to park. But failing that, you've got the road the other side. The road's all totally free as well. Been nice, convenient, because obviously you've got the car park here. And you come down this side, and this is Gorleston Beach. So the whole beach is fishable, but normally prefer to fish up this end, deeper water up that end. I don't know if I was going to pick it up. There's a little boy out there that marks the wreck. So normally you speak to people and they say they fish Gorleston Beach, they normally tell you they fish from the wreck upwards. I can see a couple of fishing rods down there on the sand already. So I'm going to get this stuff on the trolley, I'm going to get down there and let's make a start. Right, all down here on the beach, all set up, ready to go now. Going to get this cast out, first cast of the day. Of this is now 11 o'clock, high tide was 9 o'clock this morning. And obviously high tide coming in about 9 o'clock tonight. So I'm only going to be fishing the low tide today. Standard setup as usual. I've got a 2-hook flapper on this one. And I've got a pulley pennel going out on this one. So I'm going to try and get a bit of distance on this one on the right. Get this one on the left out. Right, let's get these out. Right, so that's it, first cast of the day, they're now out there. Just kind of show you if I can on here whereabouts I am. Up the top there, that was the car park I was parked in earlier. So basically when I come out that car park, I turn right, I walk down the slopes, and I'll turn right when I got to the beach. Out there is the boy marking the wreck, that's in the next one to me, the next coins, that's right opposite the wreck. So I'm one up from the wreck. If I look further down that way, that's taking you right down towards Hopton, and that's low stuff right over there on the point. So, but it's a good little spot here. This is really deep water. I've actually, in the summer, I've been in this water and I've waded out, and trust me, as soon as you start getting a few yards out, that water starts coming up to you. And it's really deep water, and normally produces quite well here, but catch reports recently have been very bad for Gorleston and Great Yarmouth. There's not been a lot coming out. The bait I'm using today, I had some fresh lug a while ago. Basically, I've just had it like in the fridge and it's been in the garage, so it's kind of died off. It's gone a bit mushy, but I'll tell you what, the smell that's coming off it is unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, it's seen better days, but the smell that is coming off that, yeah, is unbelievable. So that should attract something. I've also got a bit of squid here, frozen squid. I've just put a little bit of seawater in it. I'm going to let that thaw out a little bit, and I'll start tipping it with a little bit of squid. So that's as far as we got. Well, at least we're down here, at least we're fishing. Got more chance of catching something on the beach than if I was sitting home on the sofa. So we're keeping an eye on these rods. How are we doing for time? Exactly 11 o'clock. So we've got a good few hours yet. Like I say, the tide is going out. I think low tide is about 3 o'clock today. So I'm going to be chasing the tide down in a bit. But, well, let's just crack on and let's see what we can do. Right, so that's my first cast, literally, that cast that I've done, that was my first one. I've just pulled this in. Look at the size of it, what an absolute tiny little whiting that is. Whiting flatfish, look at him. Look at how tiny he is. Well, we'll get him off, we'll get him back in. But, on the plus side, at least I haven't blanked today. Right, so I've only been here 20 minutes, it's literally 20 past 11, so I've only been fishing 20 minutes. Obviously had that little flatfish out, tiny little fin, but at least I haven't blanked, but I'm hoping I'll get something a bit better than that out today. Got another guy fishing up there, he's just turned up. He's literally up there by the wreck, and there's no one down that end, so it's going to be a very quiet day, but like I say, I think it's literally down to the fact that low water today. If I got here at 8 o'clock this morning, and if I stay till 8 o'clock tonight, then obviously it wouldn't be too bad, but I'm only going to stay down here to about 5ish, I've got no lights with me, no head torch, nothing, so as soon as it gets to about 5 I'm going to start packing up, making my way back. So that's it, so we'll still keep an eye on them. Hopefully we get some good little indications, good little knocks, and hopefully we get something in a bit bigger than that little flatfish we had. But like I said, at least I haven't blanked. Could it be worse? Right, so we've gone from the smallest flatfish to, well, I've had smaller, but look at them, look, little pin whiting. Both of them now caught on the flapper rig. I've had nothing on that pulley rig. So they're on the flapper, so if it carries on like this I might put a flapper rig on the other one as well. But, well, that's 2 fish, so we definitely haven't blanked. Right, let's get him off, let's get him in. Right, another small whiting come out, literally just a tiny one. And that was actually caught on the pulley pennel rig that time. And there was me debating whether to just put a flapper one on there. But, yeah, so another little one's come out. Just hopefully they can start getting a little bit bigger than that, eh? Right, so I've only been here 45 minutes. And what have I had out so far? Only little ones, 2 little whiting and a little flatfish. Preferably like to get something a little bit bigger out. So what I'm doing now is I'm leaving the flapper rig out. That's got the small worm on. The pulley pennel, I've actually loaded it up. I've got a nice squid bait on there now. I'll put a nice decent sized bit of squid on there. So I'm going to throw that out. Hopefully get something a little bit big on that right hand side rod. Try and keep the little fish off that. And the left hand one, well, if I keep putting them out, I'll keep putting the little ones out. So right, let's get this squid bait out. Right, been here just over an hour now, still only had those 3 fish out, those 3 tiny ones. It's now time for a nice cup of tea. So, seems to have quietened off a little bit now as well. I know I put a much bigger bait out on that right hand side on the pulley rig. I know I put a bigger bait on there, so I'm only really trying to attract the bigger fish. I'm not 100% sure there's bigger fish out there at the moment. Like I say, catch reports have been very bad recently, but I've still got the left one out. I've still got the flapper rig on there with the smaller worms, trying to attract a few of those whiting and dabs, keep them coming in. So that's all we can do now, just keep an eye on that. Let's get something out. But I'll tell you what an absolute gorgeous day it is down here today. It's the first day of February half term. I had quite a few dog walkers walking past and that. But the sun is out, absolutely gorgeous day today. Right, that's it. I'm going to enjoy that. Nice cup of tea. Keep an eye on those rods. And let's hope for something nice and big on that right hand side one. Well, just coming up to 1:45. So, hour and 45 I've been in now. It's gone pretty quiet now, to tell you the truth. It's really slacked off. I've not had anything out, not even those tiny little tiddlers. I'm just watching this couple up here. She's reeling in. Well, that looks like, yeah, that looks like she's got a little flatty on there. So they are still about. So the left hand one, like I say, that's still got me little bits of worms on it, going out for those litter fish. And the right hand side, that's got that bit of squid on there. I've reeled that in a couple of times, checked it, put a bit more bait elastic on it, etc., and chucked that back out. But we'll just see how we get on. But yeah, they're still putting out up there, so that's a good sign. Right, that left hand side one then, that went if ever I know it. I know the wind's picking up a little bit, but that was definitely a bite indication, that one. If that knocks again, I'm going to reel that one in if that goes. Could just be something playing around with it, you see. We'll keep my eye on that. If that does knock again, I'm definitely going to bring that one in. just when I thought that last whiting was small, I'll go and pull that one out. Look. Oh my god, absolutely titchy, absolutely tiny. But I keep saying it, at least I'm still catching. Let's get him back. Right, 1:30 now, so only got about an hour, and that's going to be low tide. About 2:30, 2:45 low tide, and then the tide's going to start making its way in. Hopefully when the tide's on the turn, start getting a bit more luck. Sun keeps kind of going in and out, a little bit of cloud cover coming over, wind's picking up a little bit, but like I say, hopefully once that tide turns, we'll start doing a bit better. I'm going to reel these in, check the bait. They've been out there a little while now, so we'll reel these in, see what's going on. Another whiting, but you know what? That's the best size whiting I've had all day. Nothing absolutely major, but I'll tell you what, that's the best size whiting we've had all day. I'm quite pleased for that. Whilst all those other little things I've been getting out, I'm quite pleased for that. Right, just coming up to 2 o'clock now. Couple of little knocks on the left with the flapper rig. The rig I had out on the right with that big bit of squid, I've had absolutely nothing. I mean, I had that little whiting he lynched onto it earlier, but other than that, no one's even entertained it whatsoever. So changing my tactics a little bit, I'm going to put this right hand one out. I've got a 3-hook flapper rig on there. That's all just been loaded up. Got my worms on there, and one with the bait clips. So we chuck this out. So there's 3 on that, I've got 2 on the other, so should start getting something out. Like I say, an hour, 45 minutes till low tide, then the tide will be on the turn, start coming in, hopefully that's when they'll start biting a little bit. Right, no time to waste, let's get this one out. Well, that 3-hook flapper I put out, I've just literally reeled that in, check on my bait, he's on there, didn't even feel him knocking, look, he's so tiny. It's a shame really, not getting anything sort of too good out. I mean, they normally don't do too bad along here. Gorleston Beach is normally pretty good for the fishing, but like I say, fishing reports has been quite everywhere this week, so at least I'm actually pulling something out, if you can call it something. Anyway, we'll get him off. I'm going to check the other rod in a second as well. Well, I've only got about 20 minutes until low water, and then that'll be on the turn. Gone very quiet at the moment, very slack. I've not reeled nothing in for a while. Checked my bait a couple of times. Bait's pretty much untouched as well. So just thought I'd just tell you a little bit about Gorleston Beach really. If no one's ever come down here and fished before, like I say, it normally produces quite well. In the summertime, get bass coming out of here. Winter time, you get one or two codling come out, but you normally get some quite nice sized whiting come out, some nice sized dabs and that come out. The further that way down the coast you go, that's towards Lowestoft. But you got Hopton, Lowestoft, the other side of Lowestoft, Corton. They normally produce quite well in the winter for the cod. But this beach here, like I say, most people tend to fish up this end. I don't know if you made it out there, but the beach really is shearing off a little bit. It really is deep water up this end. And the further you go up that end, it's obviously a lot more shallow as it heads towards the pier. But I was in a competition about 2-3 years ago, draw me peg number, and I was literally right the way up that end. There's a little calf up there called JJ's Calf, and I was right opposite the calf. And I was thinking then, I'm going to have no chance whatsoever in this, because it's really shallow water up there. But I'll tell you what, I didn't actually do too bad. I mean, I didn't place anywhere in the competition, but again, it was non-stop catching all day, and that actually surprised me, because it was, like I say, quite shallow water up there. And the further you come down, the deeper it gets. That guy that was with his wife earlier, he's made a move, he's gone. Another guy's just turned up. I think he's got a couple of kids with him as well. He's just setting up down there, so he's probably literally going to fish the low tide and fish it just as it's coming in, get it on the ebb a little bit. So that's what I'm hoping, it starts to produce a little bit more. As soon as that tide starts to turn, I'm hoping we get a few more out. Sun's gone in a little bit now. Sun's behind the clouds up there, so the sun's gone in a bit. But still relatively nice, it's not a cold day. Little breeze, but no, nothing major. Not like last time when I fished on Great Yarmouth Beach, that was absolutely treacherous down there. So yeah, it's the Gorleston Beach, like I say, it's not a bad beach to fish. Like I say, you've got the car park up there where I parked earlier. I believe that's open from 8 in the morning till 11 at night. So if you are night fishing here, be aware of that will close at 11 o'clock at night. But saying that, all the roads, that's all free to park on all year round. Right over there in the distance, you've got the pier. I've fished the pier 2 or 3 times. Whether you fish the river side of it or fish the beach side of it, it can produce quite well. I think that might be the next one I do. I've got a day off again in a couple of weeks, so I think I might take the camera with me again and do a little bit on the pier. But yeah, the pier produces, and again there's a car park right at the beginning of the pier. They charge you to park per hour, or you can pay for the day. But again, just before the car park, that little road there is all totally free parking. So that's normally why I take the trolley with me. It's just so much easier, just whack everything on the trolley, wheel it along, job done, and it's simple as that. So, right, well anyway, I want to go and make myself another cup of tea, so I do like a cup of tea, and get this tea made, and then, like I say, I'm going to reel these in a bit, check my bait on there, see what it's doing, and fingers crossed, you get something coming out. You start seeing a bit of the wreck out there now. I haven't got a zoom on this camera, so it literally stays as it is. But when you got the buoy, just before the buoy, you got a few bits strutting up out of the water. That's where the wreck is. And like I say, that's where mate is fishing there. That's normally quite a good little bait to fish in, that one, right opposite the wreck. But I'll keep my eye on him. I'll see if he starts pulling anything out. Right, there we go. Cup of tea time. Three o'clock now, so that is it. That is low water. So give it a little while, that should start to turn, that start coming back in. Change tactics a little bit. I've still got worm on this left hand side, but on this right hand one, on this flapper rig, I've now just put a little bit of squid on. I thought I'd throw that out because I've had literally nothing. I've had nothing, no little nibbles or anything on that worm, so I thought I'd just throw a little bit of squid out, see what happens with the squid, and we'll take it from there. But now the tide, I'll say give it a little while, that'll be on its way in. Hopefully that brings some fish in with it as well. Well, I've never in my life have I had that happen before. That left hand rod, my God, that nearly bent over in half just now. I've never had a bite, literally never had a bite like it. Struck it, started reeling it in, feel something heavy on there. All of a sudden, slackline weren't even the word. I knew I'd lost it as soon as I started reeling. Started reeling in, absolutely no weight on there whatsoever. Line had come undone. Where I've tied my shock leader onto my main line, that knot seems to have come. I've reeled it in and all I've got left is my normal line. I've never ever in my life had a knot come undone where I've tied the shock leader onto a main line. Never ever had it. So what happened there, I don't know, that's beyond me. So luckily I've got a spare spool there, all made up, it's got my shock leader on it, so I'll just get this one straight off, get this one on, get another rig on there, and then we'll get that cast out. But yeah, a little bit disappointing in that actually. Like I say, that was a bite and a half. That rod absolutely went for it then. And how that knot has come undone, like I say, that is absolutely beyond me. I've never ever had a knot come undone like that before. Very disappointed in that. Right, let's get this spool on. Oh, absolutely gutted. Well, I'm still absolutely miffed as to what happened just then with that spool. I was just trying to think as well when I last used that spool, tail end of last summer. I was on North Beach, Great Yarmouth. I was down there with my mate Jamie. We were putting out smooth hounds and dogfish. We had some pretty nice fish come out of that day, and that all held up. Everything held up that day. So why that has suddenly come loose, I'm absolutely miffed. Absolutely. Well, anyway, this right hand rod, I thought I'd reel that in, have a little check of the bait. Got caught on a snag, which is very rare throughout here. There's very few snags out here. Got caught on a snag, tried doing the walk left, walk right, up and down the beach, trying to release it, lost it in the end. The line went in the end, lost it all. Opened up my rig wallet, all I've really got in there made up is loads of pulley pennel rigs. I haven't even got any flapper rigs made up. Everything's everything's at home on the side. I had delivery last week. All my everything I've ordered. So I've literally just had to make a quick flapper rig up. Yeah, the most crudest rig you could ever do. There's no pulley beads on it. There's to attract the fish. There's no bait clips on it. I've literally just got my shock leader line coming down. I've got £20 line coming off, and I've literally just put a hook on the end of the line. I mean, I've fished like it before when I fish off the pier. That's kind of how I do fish. So I'm going to get some worms on this, get this one chucked out, and even though that's the most crudest setup you'll ever see, there's still going to be some bait on there. We're still hopefully going to get something off there. Right, let me get it baited up and let me get that out. Just reeled this one in on the left. Another little whiting, very tiny little whiting. Well, it definitely weren't that one that broke me line last time, or pulled it so hard it undone the knot. Definitely weren't him, that's for sure. Right, let's get him off, let's get him back in. Right, well, it's just coming up to 4 o'clock, 10 to 4. So, like I say, I'm going to fish till 5, so I've got another hour. Like I say, I've got no torch with me, no headlight. It starts getting darker, so as soon as it gets to 5, I'm going to start packing down. I'm still absolutely miffed about that rod on the left hand side. Absolutely miffed. I don't keep going on about it, and I'm not going to stop going on about it. What was on there, I mean, I've never seen the rod. I've literally, it went like that. What was on there, I don't know, and I never will know. But at least we're still out there, we're still fishing, we've still got an hour to go. Tide's on the turn now, tide's coming in now. So hopefully that brings a few fish in with it as well. Oh, I've just made myself another cup of tea. Can't go wrong, can you, with cups of tea? You cannot go wrong with the old tea. Oh, that tastes good, I'll tell you. That tastes very good. Right, like I say, I'm going to crack on. I'm going to do another hour. And hopefully... Oh, look at that one on the right hand side. Look. Let me put this down. So it was definitely having a little play with that. Not going anymore. Probably just another one of those little ones. Trying to... I've got a squid on that one on the right. So he's probably just having a little nibble, trying to get a little bit off of that. No, it's definitely not going anymore. Or is it? It's moving a little bit still. Like I say, I've got the tide coming in. I haven't really got my rods that high on that stand, so they're kind of hitting the waves as they're coming in, so that's knocking it. There's still a little bit of a breeze around, so that's knocking it. I just want a nice definite knock. You know when you get a definite knock, you know, don't you? So it could be something on there, it could be playing dead. They do that, the fish. When they get hooked up, they can sort of play dead. And that's the one as well, that right hand side one, that's the one literally I'll just put 2 hooks on. There's no beads on it, there's no bait clips on it, there's no stop knots to stop the bait going up there. I mean, I've literally just done a line and put 2 hooks on it. It reminds me a little bit of, is it Huckleberry Finn? I'm sure it was Huckleberry Finn. I'm sure he had a bit of hook on a bit of a string tied to his toe. Right, let's calm down anyway. I'm going to finish my cup of tea, but I'm going to keep my eye on it. And obviously if I get anything on there, then I'll be back to show you. So, just coming up to 4:30. I've literally just put some bait on these, cast these out. These are probably going to be my last cast of the day. I've had absolutely, well, got me the last hour and a half maybe now. Absolutely nothing. No, couple of nibbles here and there, couple, but bringing absolutely nothing in. It's gone absolutely dead. Matey who was down there with the kids, he's packed up, he's gone home. He's been and gone. We've got, I can see someone, I'm not sure if they're fishing, but there's someone right up there about 3-4 groins up. But nah, I'm going to call it call it a day. Like I say, I'll cast these out, I'll leave these out for 10 minutes or so, and then reel them in, see what's on there, and then start packing up. Like I say, we're losing the light a little bit, starting to cloud over. Just made myself another cup of tea. I do love a cup of tea. And that's it, we'll start packing my gear down now, get everything ready. So, well, fingers crossed on this last cast. Fingers crossed something comes out here. Here's hoping. Oh, right, so that is it. It is 10 to 5. Day is done. Literally the last hour and a half, 2 hours, caught absolutely zilch, absolutely nothing. And a few small whiting out there today, a few small dabs. Nothing too great really, not compared to what has come out on this beach. So I've been working now for a couple of weeks. Next day off, I'm going to definitely go and fish Gorleston Beach. I'm going to charge the old camera up, take that with me, try and do another little video. That's it, I'm all packed up, all ready to go. Got my green carrier bag there, that's got all my rubbish in it. Always take your rubbish from the beaches. This beach has actually got awards for cleanliness of the beach and that. So literally, as soon as you get up there's so many rubbish bins and that up there. So please take the rubbish with you. I've got a Facebook page. It's called Great Yarmouth and Gorleston Sea Fishing. So if you want to come along and like the page, catch reports go on there. People go fishing, let you know what's coming out and what isn't coming out, what's baits are being used. So it's just a little page. There's only a few hundred people on there. Just gives everyone a little heads up as to what's going on. So there you go. We're all done. I'm going to get all my bits, get my rubbish, and hopefully next time have better luck. Right, let's get out.